and welcome to Klaipėda, Lithuania. This is the Basketball Champions League Game Day 2 regular season Group D game between Neptūnas Klaipėda and Žydrieji Dijon. So the skull and crossbones is out to watch a battle between Lithuania and France. And we know that those national teams over the years have had some classic games, but also a lot of the clubs in these countries have squared off. If you look at the action already in Group D, Falco Szombathely winning it at home over PAOK, Besiktas losing at home by 1 to Zaragoza, and Happy Casa Brindisi winning right at the buzzer last night against Bonn. So who is going to win this one? This will complete the group, and as always, a lot of excitement around this Neptūnas team, team that has made its mark over the years in the Basketball Champions League. Played some, quite frankly, some riveting games. It's always fun to do their games. Here's a look at the standings. It's early in the season, so probably not too much to read into that, but obviously Neptūnas win tonight. They will go top of the table. Likewise, Žydrieji Dijon win, they go top of the table. They would be, the winner of this game will be the only 2-0 team in Group D. Žydrieji Dijon, Richard Solomon, Rashid Suleiman, Michael Young, Dimitri Radnic, Jeremy Leloup, David Holston, Lamont Ulmer, Abdoulaye Loum, Alexandre Chasson, and Axel Julien playing for Laurent Lanomme. And for Neptūnas Klaipėda, it's Tadas Pajerda, Žygimantas Janavičius, Tadas Sadikerskas, Tomas Delinikaitis, Darren Dorsey, Žygas Slavinskas, Osvaldas Olasavičius, Simas Gaudikas, Gytis Masulis, Matas Jogela, all the way down to Davidus Galius. And it is going to be a very fun, exciting game to do for you tonight. Well, you look back at Dijon and their performance last week at home. They really had their house rocking big time. They jumped out to an early first quarter lead, leading 22-17, and extended that to 42-34 at halftime. And they just kept piling on the misery against the team from Hungary before winning it 87-68. Rashid Suleiman obviously had a big game with 23 points. But they got a lot of other solid performances there for coach Laurent Legnon, including Abdoulaye Loum, who had 12 points, and 17 for Richard Solomon, along with 9 rebounds and a couple of steals. So it'll be interesting to see if those three step up again tonight. For Neptūnas Klaipėda last week, in their big win, as I said, Davidus Galius had 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, and really one of the top performances of the competition. Žygimantas Janavičius had 13 points and 6 assists. Also, solid performances from Gaudikas and Masulis, who had 10 points apiece. And there is Galius right there. And of course, they're coached by Tomas Brinkavicius. So the two coaches shake hands, and we are about 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes away from the start of today's game. That was a very impressive win, though, as I said last week, for the French team. They come here. Obviously, some of these players know each other from years gone by, Solomon and Dorsey. And there is a coach smiling like a Cheshire cat. He looks like a man that knows something that the rest of us don't. Like he's got a team that's capable of doing serious damage in this competition this year. They had some solid performances last year, Dijon especially, with David Holston. I mean, he was terrific. But they just did not have quite enough. But they took their fans on a wild ride, at least in the group phase. And in fact, when you look back at it, Neptunus got probably a pretty bad draw once they advanced to the playoffs, having to play Hapoel Jerusalem. They lost both of those games by combined points difference of plus 32. Referees for today's game, well, you recognize them: Gunnar Yilmaz, Igor Mitrovsky, and Zafar Yilmaz. So in that case, when the coach wants to speak to the referee, he's got a 66% chance or 67% chance of being right if he just says Yilmaz, because we've got two Yilmazes doing the game today. Suleiman, Michael Young, Ulmer, Chasson, and Julien are in the starting five for Dijon. Of course, Chasson had some really big games last year. I've enjoyed watching him play for Dijon, but he and Axel Julien played for France in the European qualifiers. France went on to qualify for the World Cup and got third place. Lenon, the coach. Neptunus finished third last year in Group D with an 8-6 record, 2 wins behind eventual champions Virtus Bologna. So that just shows you how good they were. Janavicius, Sedekerskas, Gaudikas, Matsoulis, and Galis in the starting five for Neptunus. Cavish is the coach, getting ready to put the team through their last bit of instructions before they take the court. So Thomas Rankavicius here at the helm and looking to do something special this season for a Neptunus team who had been coached by Kazis Makšvydas. Rankavicius was actually an assistant coach last year, so he has been promoted to the top job.
Classic pass, no risk, ball to Axel. At night, your wife fast, pick here. Okay, you watch, if he switch, I know, chance release, good guy, really right. Good execute,
GDA Dijon, meanwhile, won 4 games last season, finished 3 games out of the playoffs. But they did have some good results. They won their opener against Ches Nymburk. They won again at Nymburk. Won at Fuenlabrada. And then they beat Lietkabelis. Well, hello everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching. We are here in Lithuania. This is Klaipėda. It's Neptūnas Klaipėda in the white, taking on Žalieji Dijon in the dark uniforms, who are attacking the basket to the right. So Dijon start with a miss. Here, chance of Lietuva, which is Lithuania in Lithuanian. And three-pointer is good for Masiulis, Gytis Masiulis. Played very well at times last season for Neptūnas. Had 10 points last week in their win over Happy Casa Brindisi. And the drive and the basket is good for Dijon. So Michael Young gets on the board. The early three still has Neptūnas on top. The pass whipped over to the corner. Now back inside. And Galius misses with his first attempt. Julien passes it, and driving and scoring is Lamont Ulmer. So Dijon take their first lead of the game. Galius tried to score with his right hand there on the left side of the basket. Now quickly down the floor they go. Rashid Suleiman drives in, and for the second consecutive time, Dijon score with a reverse layup. Davidus Galius. Shaking and baking. The bounce pass was there, and a little bit of contact, but nothing called. And here comes Young. That was Gaudigas with the miss for Neptūnas. Julien hits the three-pointer, and already Neptūnas forced to call a timeout. Axel Julien ripping it from deep. Here he goes again. Watch this. Right on target. Let's go down to the bench and listen to the Neptūnas coach.
Open to go, two down. Just free position here. Receive the ball, you go here. Guys, they immediately jump here, so Simas try one dribble and look, what position come up here. Maybe here, pass, and now attack. Because they immediately jump here. Guys, okay, hey, first token, this second we go head two. Catch higher, no offensive foul. Two position, four position. Catch here, go inside, pass here. Defense play the foul.
Well, Neptūnas going up against a Dijon team that is 4-1 in France, and in fourth place was Michael Young, and then Ulmer. Excuse me, Suleiman. Neptūnas, meanwhile, are 2-4 and in 7th place in the LKL, the domestic league here in Lithuania. And the drive and turnover. And here's another chance. Now the turnover to Galis, but then he fumbles it out of bounds. So this was a chance that Neptunus had, and Galis just could not control it as he split the defense there. And now another turnover. This one called on Alexandre Chasson. Nine to 3, Dijon in front, but they've turned it over their last couple of possessions. Chasson with the rebound. Now Julien up ahead, and oh, thought we had a dunk, and in the end we ended up with a missed shot, a missed layup from Umer. Well, you never want to spurn opportunities to put the ball in the basket, especially when you're wide open underneath the hoop. And Galis, meanwhile, goes down and scores. So that is a 4-point swing. Good defense offered by Yanavicius. And then a foul is called on Yanavicius. So with that, Michael Young goes to the line. And the one thing you know about this player here at the free throw line, he will be forever young, since that's his last name. Okay, he takes and makes both free throws. Michael Young, good start for him. And Dijon pushed their lead back to 11-5. Yanavicius gets it to the corner to Masoulas, who misses with a little one-handed runner. He gets it back from Galdikas. He thought about putting it up. Now Yanavicius. And then from the right. And the basket is good. Siderkevskis gets his first three-pointer to fall. Young dribbles between his legs, puts it up. And Avicius brings it up the floor. Avicius almost made Lithuania's national team this summer, and Gytis Masoulas drills the three-pointer. Out to the wing, Julien hits the three-pointer, gets it right back for Dijon. They go back up by 3. Oh boy, Yanavicius, the path to the basket opened wide, and he went in and made the easiest of layups. Look at this. A little bit of a pick on Chasson, it looked like, which freed him up. Suleiman misses from mid-range, and the rebound by Alexandre Chasson. Now Michael Young has it. Alexandre Chasson, his attempt off the target, and Young hits it out of bounds. Leonikaitis, the veteran, comes into the game, and also David Holston comes in. Andre Williamson also in for Neptunus, as well as Darren Dorsey. Jeremy Leloup, the defensive specialist, is in the game, number 9 now for Dijon. Dorsey gets it over to Masulis. Masulis takes a bump and will go to the line. Solomon not impressed. Richard Solomon coming out, picking up his first foul. So Gytis Masulis, having followed in the footsteps of his father, Tomas, former Lithuanian national team star, and makes the first one. You might remember when Lithuania nearly upset the USA at the Sydney Olympics in that thrilling semifinal. His father, Tomas, played and was a big contributor in that game. And I know you want to know how big of a contributor he was, so I'm going to tell you. Just a second. David Holston gets into the lane and puts it up and in. So Tomas Masulis had 7 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist in that game. So played a lot of minutes, played 21 minutes. Ball bounces out to the perimeter, corralled by David Holston. Now Solomon. They get it to the corner, and Suleiman hits the 3. Guy was just not impressed over there on the bench, the Neptunus bench. Sedekerskis fouled by Jeremy Leloup. Well, the turnover on Darren Dorsey. Now Holston. Abdoulaye Loum also in the game now. The big center, number 21 for Dijon. Nearly 8.5 minutes into the game, and it's Dijon on top by 4. Both of these teams winning last week in their openers. And Dorsey almost lost it out of bounds, gets it to Masulis. And Neptunus turned the basketball over. Yep, his foot, you can see good camera angle there with Delinikaitis. His right foot was in the backcourt. Holston, got to watch him. Now he gets it and he puts it up. I'm not even sure if he got off in time. I heard the buzzer. Left-handed Andre Williamson misses. They follow. Getting the rebound is Jogela. Back outside to Delinikaitis for 3. Now you give a team second, third opportunities, and of this caliber, a team like Neptunus, and they will punish you. So Dijon trying to hold it for 1 shot. Holston has it, puts it up from deep, and answers with a 3-pointer. And in fact, they did not hold it for 1. They've given Neptunus just enough time. But in the end, it was Jogela who launches it from a long way out. And a very interesting, very high-scoring, well, relatively high-scoring first quarter. Dijon lead it 22-18 over Neptunus. Dijon 4 of 6 from three-point range, also 4 of 7 for Neptunus. So this game not lacking for the long ball. Here's some of the highlights. Well, you look at these two teams and, you know, what they've got coming up. Starting with Neptunus. Next week they will go to Greece, Thessaloniki, to take on PAOK, and then they'll return on November 6th to host Casa de Bon Zaragoza. And then they will travel to Germany to face Telekom Baskets Bonn before November 20th game against Besiktas from Turkey. And then they will play Falco Szombathely for the first time. Falco Volcano Szombathely for the first time on December 4th. That will be in Hungary. And Dijon, meanwhile, well, the Savages has checked into the game here for Neptunus. Dijon next week will be at home against Happy Casa Brindisi, and then the following week as well against PAOK. And they'll travel to Spain to face Casa de Bon Zaragoza on November 12th. They'll be at home against Bonn on November 19th. Play at Besiktas on December 3rd. So second quarter underway, and a little bit of craziness. Wow, that was interesting, wasn't it? And how about follow from Jogaila? I thought there was almost going to be a backcourt violation on Neptunus because they saved the ball in bounds. And I can't remember who it was, Williamson, who touched it. He was just coming from the backcourt, but the referees allowed them to play on. So apparently they're not going to count that basket. Quick pass down low. And Solomon was blocked. Well, the Savages turns it over, and Julien, for the second time, throws ahead to a wide open teammate up the floor, and Holston lays it up for an easy basket. When you can score baskets that easily, it really helps your cause. Holston releasing a little bit early. All the Savages. Gets it over to Jogaila. Then the quick turn by Andre Williamson, but he then turns it over. Jogaila forces the turnover. And Dorsey almost turned it over. Now Ola Savages launches it from deep. A little bit of a helter-skelter beginning to the second quarter. Andre Williamson, meanwhile, picking up his first foul with that reach. Leloup with a little turnaround, but it's an air ball. Good hustle by Holston to get it in to Solomon, but then he loses control of the basketball. Jogaila fouled by Holston. look at the foul by Holston with the reach. Simas Galdikas comes back into the game. Kaitis gets it to Galdikas. He's surrounded, passes it back to Olasavicius. Olasavicius again out to the perimeter. And Janavicius loses it out of bounds. Three-point shot it is from David Holston. And the follow, and Solomon not allowing Galdikas turns it over meanwhile. Call for the foul, in fact, crashing, pulling over the back, or coming over the back. 9-point deficit. Here's Jogela. I'll tell you, Jogela's got some moves, doesn't he? Misses the shot. Now the pass cross court and a charge. Alexandre Chasson comes back into the game for Dijon. So Jogela goes out and is replaced by Davidus Galis. Second quarter a little sloppy compared to the first. Suleiman grabs a miss, hands it off to Julien, who again passes up ahead, and it's Leloup. And for the third time in the game, all Dijon have had to do is pass over the defense, almost a full-length court pass, and get a layup. So Neptune is not doing a good job of getting back. Flying in, and Galis banks it in. Suleiman. And Dijon answer with the bank shot from Lamont Ulmer. Good job by Delanokaitis getting it back. He fires it inside. Now it goes back out to Janavicius, excuse me. And then the ball goes out of bounds to Dijon. Oh, he did have that look like a Cheshire cat before the game. Laurent, the coach of Dijon, and maybe you're starting to understand why his teams come out and look very good with this 11-point lead, looking to extend it. Stepping back is Leloup, and rebounding it, and going back up is Ulmer. And Galdikas has the ball taken away by Ulmer, and Ulmer fouls him. So Galdikas puts it up and it rims out. Ulmer looks like he's going to be okay. He's going to stay in the game. Must have caught a little bit of Galdikas' arm. Galdikas makes 1 of 2. Dijon has taken the crowd out of the game, but now the turnover, that might get them roaring again. Suleiman and his Dijon teammates head to the bench, where they will talk with the coach, who's called timeout.
Hey, bonus. No stupid fault. No stupid fault. Okay? Just after free throw, stay calm, relax on zone press, guys. Okay, you pass and you play. Okay?
12 points coming from the bench for Dijon, just 3 for Klaipėda.
Drive and dish, continue. Move the defense, not moving. In defense, you are really focused, because sometimes the defense goes the first screen with the edge, and he plays second screen faster. And hey, and sometimes he decide last moment, he switch the screen. Recognize the situation, not the guys.
Talk to him.
Okay, continue to switch, man, with Sheed and Lamont. Okay, next play, I want to cut, turn side, make a good screen, pin convert.
Hey, on 21, we can make foul. On the ball.
Yves Masulas back in, missing from deep, and so far not so good for Neptunus, who are distinctly second best in this game. They need to get some stops and start showing a little bit of execution on the other end. Julian bounce pass stolen away. Janavicius hands it off, and almost Masulas has a chance for a three-point play, but instead he will go to the line for a couple of free throws. Solomon picks up his first foul. Well, you feel like Dijon right now have a real opportunity to go even further ahead, to maybe get a stranglehold on the game. But it remains to be seen. Neptune is not making their free throws, but getting some second opportunities with the ball being batted out to Janavicius. Here he goes, putting the ball on the deck. Leans into one and misses. And Janavicius, you can see the frustration on his face. David Holston coming back into the game. Julien goes out. And going up and scoring down low is Simas Galdicus. Three-point shot for Dijon and Suleiman, and they have nailed them today. Suleiman himself 3 of 5 from deep. As a team right now, Dijon are 6 of 9 from three-point range. Galius pass batted out, and Holston almost able to get it. Janavicius just throws it away. Nope, he is fouled, is the call by Holston. And Holston looks like he does not agree with that call. Let's see, keep a look. Boy, he definitely reached, but it looked like he got a lot of ball. But I will say the referee was a lot closer to the action than me. Here's Galius, or Galis rather. Neptune is trying to stay within striking distance right now. They are not turning on all cylinders. Being outscored 12-6 in this second quarter. Goal. Janavicius takes his time and makes the first. And the second. So back to an 8-point lead now for Dijon. They've been right on the cusp of really taking this game over, but haven't done so. And now Neptunus with a chance to come back even closer here. Julien, meanwhile, that's not going to count because there was a foul push on Galdicus. Ball taken by Young, and he's got his right leg wrapped up. Suleiman, meanwhile, hits the outside of the net, and the offensive rebound and put back by Solomon. a great chance there taken by Solomon, and now he plays good defense, gets the block. Suleiman rebounds it, gets it over to Leloup, or Julian. Back to Suleiman, three-pointer, and just like that, the lead has gone from 8 to 14 points. Dijon flying high. See the hot shooting, 7 of 10 from three-point range for Dijon. And they are just, you know, really the offensive rebound and putback was the killer. They're trailing by 8, a chance to get the ball back and to cut into that deficit even more. Solomon got an offensive rebound, scored with the putback, and was fouled and made the free throw. Now turnover to Julian, and up ahead to Leloup, and Dijon are lowering the boom here in the first half, stretching their advantage to 16 points. This crowd stunned into silence. Three-point shot from Galis, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it is turning into a nightmare. And you can see the hands go to the face. Sotokirskis missing it badly. There's Galis. Michael Young dribbling in, and oh, what a tough move and finish from Young. GDA Dijon are flying, folks. Now with their biggest lead of the game, 18 points. And remember, they were up 8. And the big play came when Solomon got an offensive rebound and put back and was fouled. And that has triggered this 10-0 run, which was last contributed to there by Young. Much better, and the finish, Džiugas Slavinskas coming off the bench. Now the pass down low. Outside it goes, and good defense, stealing Jõgėla, number 23. The chance here right at the end for Neptunus to shave some more points off that deficit. Jõgėla puts it up from long range. And you wonder if Masiulis might have something to say to him, because he was open. But Jõgėla took it instead, and Dijon lead it 44-28. But just looking at the three-point shooting, 7 of 10 for Dijon, but also 10 of 20 inside the arc. And 3 or 4 breakaway layups for Dijon. And that has really been the difference. They've made a few more three-pointers. They've had a few easy baskets on the breakaway. And pretty much adds up to a 16-point lead here at halftime in Klaipėda. Suleiman with 11 points, David Holston off the bench with 10, and Michael Young with 6. That was a play there. I thought Dorsey, in fact, might have been guilty of a backcourt violation, but I guess he got over in time. And that was one of the many breakaways for Dijon. So I'll let you take a gander, have a look at these highlights, and we'll be right back before the start of the second half. It's Neptunus in trouble here at home against Dijon. Dijon leading it 44-28.
Jau dabar bus ir nebe komandos draugai, bus ir prieš. Tinka? Gerai. Žaidimas lygiai toks pat, bet dabar reikia įmesti tritaškį ir iš po krepšio. Tritaškį ir iš po krepšio. Supratom? Pasiruošę? 3, 2, 1, važiuojam. Ir iš karto turim taikymą tritaškį metimą ir iš po krepšio biškį sunkiau. Nagi. Ir pasirodo turime šio žaidimo laimėtoją. Ir sveikiname.
Big moment, Antoine with the steal. Oh my goodness. What an athletic play.
Under the basket, Mustafa Fall in the lane, and he held the ball up like the Eiffel Tower, and it was just too easy for the big man.
Nice, beautiful move. Really sneaky, smart play. Oh, what a move by Thomas, throwing it down. Just catch through the lane and throws it down with authority. Inside for a big time slam dunk by Faye. Ibrahim Faye, I said earlier, just throw it up anywhere above the rim and he'll catch it. Wow, what a play.
Martin, oh, he throws it down hard. Great hustle play by Brindisi. Kelvin Martin just hammered it home.
No good there from the Sixers, and here comes Jaquan Lewis. Lewis, still Lewis. Oh, what a move! Off the glass!
Offensive rebound, and Goldikas has been good, but he turns it over. Ball kept alive. Martin goes down the floor and gets to the end of the runway and takes off and throws it down for 2. And Kelvin Martin, there you go, gets off the 2 feet, gives it a little windmill action and throws it down.
Double triple to be called. It isn't. Young gets a little slip, throws it up, and then the finish. Once more, it's Kamari Murphy. Sorry, it was Simpson sneaking along the baseline.
Lalun up inside the Adelaide Loom. Back to Loon. Oh my lord! I mean, he stares it down. You remember the name. It is Abdullah Loom. Look at the elevation, and he stares it down on the floor. You remember Abdullah Loom.
Well, it has been a tough day at the office so far for Neptunus Klaipėda here at home, taking on Gilles Dijon, trailing 44-28. Dijon shooting 7 of 10 from three-point range, making it look easy. And the defense from Neptunus leaving a lot to be desired, both in the half court and also transition defense.
No call. I want to call 4 down. He's so cheap. Use the stack, Mike.
Second we go this side one. Everybody's facing move to you. Simas here, one, everybody good spacing. They try maybe force to here, so what? Maybe to the spacing, and again attack. Simas change the ball. Давай, блядь, Геврика, давай! Нас слушай! Let's go, 3 minutes, guys, come on! You know they're going to be good for us. Let's stay within ourselves.
Well, Dijon trying to do the first, something for the first time. They've never won consecutive games in the Basketball Champions League, so this would be a first if they could go on and win this game. Right now they are in command. Alexandre Chesson, however, misses a jumper here to start the second half. We heard about Galis and everything he did last week. He's only got 4 points. Nevertheless, Simas Gaudikas gets Neptunus on the board here in the third quarter. Salomon, or excuse me, Lamont Ulmer missing from the left corner. Now Galis gets it over to Janavicius. Sizes up his options. Sedekerskis gets it to Gaudikas again. Sedekerskis over to Galis. Oh, and it rims out. It's the kind of night that it's been for this Neptunus team. Axel Julien with the reverse layup, and boy, it is like a layup drill. Look at that. 8 points for Julien. He'd hit 2 threes, and now he goes up against Sedekerskis. Sedekerskis, big-time star in the Lithuanian youth teams. Here's Galis, 3-pointer. Maybe that'll be the start of something good here for Neptunus. Solomon gets in, misses. Gaudikas quickly up it goes. Janavicius back outside to Masulis. And then a push called on Dijon, so Neptunus will maintain possession. Alexandre Chesson picks up the foul. Here he is. Yep, you can see he pushes off on Sedekerskis. Galis went for another 3 and was off target. Now Michael Young. Julien back to Young. Goes up against Masulis, passes it back out. Julien now with the shot clock winding down. Alexandre Chesson goes up, and oh, that was a beautiful finish by the Frenchman. Just turned to his right and put it up with the left hand. Sedekerskis puts it on the deck. His pass intercepted. Julien lobs it up to Chasson, and I think an unsportsmanlike foul might have been called on Janavicius. Indeed it was. Žygimantas Janavicius, the veteran guard, that will go and look and just review this play just to make sure they've got it right. Here he goes, Janavicius. Look, he's in the paint, and then he was pushed a little. He definitely grabbed the jersey. That's what they will see when they look at that on Chasson. Now, will they call it? Will they keep it as an unsportsmanlike? Watch, see. I think when the refs look at it, though, they'll probably be thinking, wow, we could have actually called a push on Chasson. But they are indeed going to keep it because he wasn't playing the ball. It was grabbing the jersey. So not a good development for Janavicius. And he looks at the ref and says, okay, I did it. You're right. There's a lot of shirt grabbing that goes on in games that is not called. But if the referee sees it like that, he will call it. And Alexandre Chasson makes the first free throw, and Long looks over there on the bench of Neptunus. We're all thinking, wow, we're making this look easy in the first 2 weeks of the season. But I dare say they're going to have some tough games coming up, as we spoke about earlier in the broadcast. Alexandre Chasson comes with a loose ball and puts it up and in. Neptunus will be at home to Happy Casa Brindisi next week. David Isgalis. Sederkerskis. Wow, this is everything. He's having an off night tonight. He's going to be coming out, and look at that. Alexandre Chasson goes up with an easy layup, and there's only one team in it right now, folks. 21-point lead for Dijon. And they are getting some easy baskets. Yeah, compared to last year on this evidence, this Neptunus team seems a tad bit disorganized. Obviously missing a key player like Jerry Grant, that hurts. And a three-pointer from Delanakaitis. He was there last year. But what kind of surprises me is there seems to be a distinct lack of fire in this Neptunus team. Maybe that's going to change. Julien. Over to Chasson, and now to Suleiman for three. Well, as bad as it looks right now, I don't think that Dijon are going to play perfect basketball the rest of the way. And Galius hits the three-pointer. And I think this is a good timeout by Laurent. He's going to say, hey, listen, guys, this team that we're facing tonight, they may not have played well, but you know, we've got to step on their throats. We've got to slam the door shut. Let's be a little more efficient.
Faster, first attention to get back in the game. Focus on that. Okay, no jump on the fade. And 31, like I explained, he should really be careful on the stagger. On the stagger here. Not like that. Play here. Just here. And pass with him, pass with him. I'm up here for the guard. Okay, here. If he turns, Mike, it's true every time. Vampire. Just that.
26 points in the paint for Dijon.
Okay, guys.
I can remember at least 3 reverse layups, 4 breakaway layups. Yet they're only up 15 points, and that is why Laurent Leclerc has called the timeout, just to remind his guys, listen, we need to run our offense. We take quick shots from three-point range and miss it, and that's going to open the door for a comeback. And also now Davidus Galis has seen the ball go in the basket, as well as Delinakaitis on that right there. This was Galis's last three-pointer. Right now, Neptunus are thinking, right, we're going to come back. And almost a turnover. In fact, it is, and here's putting it up. And, oh, boy, that was a golden opportunity for Neptunus. Get even closer. Delinakaitis took the pass from Axel Julien. Now Michael Young. This is from deep. Now three-point attempt. I'm not sure that's what the Dijon coach had in mind when he called the timeout. Oh, the turnover from Yanafishis, and behind the back pass, how about that? Finished by Julien. So Suleiman on the break. Here you go, Axel. Well, Neptunus have had a couple of chances to get even closer, and now they're back down by 17. Galdikas into the corner. Galis for three. That's what they need. Now back to 14 points. Certainly Galis is feeling it. They were lacking a sense of urgency, but now Neptunus appeared to have found it. Meanwhile, the drive no good from Young, and the battle for the ball. Galdikas has it. Here they have a chance to run. You can see they want to push it. Delinakaitis holds up. Galis puts it on the deck. Oh, they leave him open. Look at this. What a poise. Opportunistic play by Galis. I thought he was going to pass it back out, and now it's back to a 12-point deficit. There's life in the Neptunus legs. There's belief. They're coming back. Julien has his pass, batted away. Delinakaitis gets it over to Yanavicius. And that's the worst thing that could have happened for Dijon. Oh, boy. Masulis threw the ball right into the hands of Suleiman. Young into the paint and misses an easy one, so they dodged a bullet, Neptunus. Yanavicius over to Delinakaitis and takes the bump, puts it up in an attempt to get free throws. Suleiman. Slavinskis comes back into the game. Yanavicius gets it back. Now he goes in and gets the contact. Fouled by Richard Solomon. Jeremy Leloup and Abdoulaye Loum, David Holston, all back in the game now for Dijon. Good aggressive play. Yanavicius gets to go to the line. Janavicius takes his time and makes the first free throw. Now, I think Dijon should have already put this game away. And now it's going to be interesting to see if they pay the price. And the lead has been cut to just 10. Dorsey back in for Janavicius. Luke inbounds it to Suleiman. And Holston brings it up, has it knocked out of his hands, but he gets it back. Step back by Holston, rims out, and Delinikaitis gets to the ball first. Slavinskas, baseline, and his pass to Masulis knocked away, stolen by Solomon. Leloup, shot clock down to 5. It's go time. Leloup puts it up from deep, and it's a 3. Wow. That's always a killer. Dijon with the shot clock running down and not looking like they're going to get anything. Score with a 3. Jogela back into the game, number 23. Oh, and now Slavinskas turns it over. 2 turnovers in a row by Neptunus after they'd come back to within 10. Holston back to Suleiman. And I believe that went off Slavinskas. So Dijon basketball. 46.9 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Just got crossed up with Jogela. Holston. Shot clock about to expire. Holston goes up and banks it in. A couple of baskets here right at the end of the shot clock for Dijon as they reassert their dominance. Dorsey drills the 3. Back to a 12-point deficit. Holston, oh, the alley-oop, slam dunk by Loom, Abdoulaye Loom, and that takes it back to a 14-point lead. Look at this. I thought Holston was shooting it, and then Loom flies into the picture. This shot could loom large in the grander scheme of things, as Dijon take a little bit of momentum back to the bench at the end of the 3rd quarter. Neptunus 9 of 22 from deep now. One more make than Dijon. They seem to have a hard time sustaining runs. But they've definitely got their chances here in the 4th quarter. We've seen how they can kind of get the wind in their sails and take points off that deficit in a hurry. 63-49, Dijon on top of Neptunus. Inside it goes Solomon, and Galdicus rebounds the miss, hands it off to Delinikaitis. Džiugas Slavinskas hands it off to Dorsey now. Dorsey hit a 3 in that third quarter. And Yogel hands it off. Much better. Finished by Slavinskas. Holston with that bounce pass into Solomon. And the ball went out of bounds off Delinikaitis. Galis comes now back into the game. Holston's going to inbound it. Neptunus don't want to give away anything easy here, but they may have. No, Loom gets swatted by Slavinskas. I don't think Loom saw that coming. Well, more good than bad from Slavinskas with that spell of play. Dorsey inbounds it. Galis goes in, takes the punishment, and scores, and has a chance now to get the deficit to 9. He misses the shot, but they keep it alive, and then it's rebounded by Leloup. We're back to 10. Now Holston off the back of the rim. Masulis rebounds the miss. Galdicus clearing out with his elbow. He's got to be careful. Masulis to Dorsey. Neptunus standing around now. Dorsey launches it, puts up an air ball. Not a good set that time for Neptunus. Julien now whips it back to Loom. Holston bounce pass to Loom. Returns. Oh boy, that is a tough play from the big fella. 4 points for Loom. He's got a thunderous slam, and then he's got a little twisting. I don't even think that was a hook shot. Kind of like a push shot. Dorsey. Into the corner it goes. Masulis. And he goes hard, tries to dunk it, and gets the foul on Solomon. So 12-point deficit, and Neptunus going back to the line. You can see what Solomon thought about that call. Masulis has not been perfect at the line tonight. Now is a good time to be perfect. Takes his time, makes the first one. Well, he had been 3 of 4 before that, so now he's 4 of 5. That's not bad. And gets Masulis again. Flips, takes his time, and he gets it back to 10 points. The deficit. He's got 11 points now. Galis leading the way with 17. Quick pass to Chassong, and gets it to go. Well, they saw an opening Dijon and they fed it into that low post for an easy 2. Dorsey. Galis for 3. Well, he's been hot. But that one just a little short. Holston and alley-oop, and another alley-oop jam for Loom. Well, they certainly practiced that play, don't they? Masulis reduced to the role of a spectator. So Neptune has called timeout, and again, try to draw up something different.
He cannot pass for big guy. Why can go with how he pass? You know that in big speed if you go, you can try and go under. Yes, because it's a lane action. I got you guys. Okay. First offense we go. Hey, we go this side 1, down and you. Watch.
28 points from the bench for Dijon, 13 for Neptunus. Boy, Olasavicius has hardly played tonight. He was a big contributor last year. Not sure if he's injured or it's a coach's decision. This is one of their better plays in the comeback. Jogela dumping it off to Slavinskis. And Galius then scoring with that drive. Talking about those points coming from the bench. 7 for Dijon, 7 for Jeremy Leloup. Now 6 for Abdoulaye Loum. And Holston has 12. Richard Solomon has 3 points from the bench. Delinikaitis from deep and drills it. Just what you want to see after your coach calls a timeout. And really, there's no better player for the big occasion for the comeback than Delinikaitis for this Neptunus team. The dump, and Chasson gets in and scores with a twisting layup. How good has he been tonight? Very. $12 points now for Alexandre Chasson, along with 4 rebounds. Dorsey, it's too deep, from deep. Again, another alley-oop, this time to pass from Julien, and Abdoulaye Loum is just earning a living with the alley-oop passes. Look at this again. He can catch it, and he knows what to do with it. Three-pointer is good for Masulis. Leloup from the wing, and Masulis brings it down. Still time for Neptunus. Dijon have not slammed the door shut. Masulis again, and this soft shot falls, and it's now a 9-point deficit that Neptunus are facing.
David, Gilles, Jérémy, Mike and Chef. Guys, I told you, no drop. We act faster. Now they put the ball on the drop, you go until here for 3 points. It's just 3 points. Only
12 three-pointers. Look at that for 28, 43%. That is a good percentage for Neptune. It's also good for Dijon, but they've only got 1 three-pointer in the second half.
Sean with Mike. One step, go faster.
Even so, they still lead by 9.
On the legs today. And get for no 3 points for the tension. Hey! Not like team 3 points. Okay, talk after Jeremy Sheet. You switch. You talk for no 3, no jump. Next play. Next play. You play chest 4. Sheet. If edge. Or shot or Mike release.
Interesting how you have a French coach and a French league speaking in English during the timeout. He's got so many American players in that team. And, well, French guys understand English as well, I guess. That was one of the alley-oops, the latest from Axel Julien to Loom. But then Masoulas got in on the act, hit that three-pointer, and then from this side, and that one looked even better. You better believe they'll be getting a hand in the face of Masoulas the next time down. Holston. Gets it back from Young, from deep. Oh, he is money in the bank. David Holston, another terrific outing for him, 15 points. Dorsey puts it up from deep himself. And the box out by Suleiman on Slavinskas. And they've called the foul on Suleiman. He says, I'm boxing out, I get hit in the head, and the foul's on me. Slavinskas goes out, good work from him, and Galdikas comes back in. Masoulas fakes it, gets it inside, nice pump fake, and then denied by Alexandre Chasson, and it goes back to Dijon. How good is Alexandre Chasson? He has been terrific. That was the pump fake. Oh, he might have gotten away with a foul, lowering his arms. Looks like he might have gotten Masoulas on the right shoulder. Masoulas didn't complain. Brinkavicius did as coach. Holston gets into paint, passes back outside to Leloup. 3:52 remaining. Time now becoming the enemy for this Neptunus team. Galis picks up his first foul. Remember, both these teams won last week. Oh, the easy pass and the finish for Leloup. Had some real breakdowns defensively tonight, Neptunus. Still got to work it for a good shot if they can. Dorsey puts it up, a long two. That's good. No, that was a three. We're back to an 11-point deficit. Stepped right behind the arc. Great camera work there, folks. They need stops. And now the pass into the hands of Galis, and then he just tried to put a move on Leloup and lost control of it. And Galdikas had to commit the foul. Third foul, Galdikas. And really, you know, when Neptunus look back at this game, they're going to look at the second quarter, and that was a very, very tough quarter for them to stomach. They're going to look and see if there's an unsportsmanlike foul here, if he was playing the ball. And I fear for Neptunus here. I think they might call an unsportsmanlike. Here he is. Well, was he playing the ball? Maybe not, but at least he kind of went for the ball. Yeah, from that angle, it looked more like he was playing the ball. Yeah, I think they're not going to call that one, but I've been wrong before. Nope, they do not. So I got that one right anyway. Galdicus breathes a sigh of relief. But again, Neptunus have a very small margin for error now. They need a stop and they need points. And they need to repeat that a few more times. The pass back to Chasson. Dorsey hustles and forces the over and back violation. So good sequence there by Dorsey. Leloup makes a Delandakaitis makes a pass to Masulis that I don't know what he was doing. Was there a miscommunication there? Did Masulis stop running? And with 2.5 minutes to go, it's looking bleak for Neptunus. Dijon looking for a dagger. Nope. Holston throws it away. Galis taking on 3 players, decides to pull up his dribble. Good D by Holston. Delandakaitis puts it up. And Holston grabs the rebound, mad at himself for having turned it over. But Neptunus not able to take advantage. Suleiman over to Young. Passes back outside. Holston misses, and then the foul coming over the back on Alexandre Chasson. But we're getting into unlikely comeback territory now with less than 2 minutes remaining. Neptunus do have the basketball. And that foul on Alexandre Chasson gives them the chance, and keeps the clock stopped, and puts Galdicus on the line. Galdicus bends his knees. Ooh, boy, you're going to miss one, miss the second. Rugela and Slavinskas getting ready to come back into the game. Galdicus makes the second. Nevertheless, 10-point deficit. And they need now, hopefully, a turnover for Neptunus. Dijon now facing a trap. Can they get it across court in time? Yes, they can. Good job by Holston to find Young. Also Suleiman to get rid of the basketball. Leloup has it. 10 on the shot clock. Neptunus do not want to foul. They want to stop. Holston gets it to Leloup, and they foul and put him on the line for an and-one. That could not have gone any worse for Neptunus. That is probably what you would describe as a layup dagger. Nice dish from Holston. Holston with 15 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. And Leloup scores again. So he has now 13 points. Five players in double figures for Dijon, and now a turnover as the Neptunus comeback attempt looks bleaker still. Young, meanwhile, still on the court in a little bit of pain. Hearing some boos and whistles. That's not good. If he's holding his head, especially, that's a bit worrying. Watch this. Oh, yeah, he got a knee from Masulis. So that is serious pain right there for Young. And I think Masulis knows that he got him with the knee, so he's trying to tell his foe he hopes he's okay. It could be a physical game at times. You hate to see that. And Young is hopefully going to be okay, but it's probably going to be at best stiff tonight and tomorrow morning when he wakes up. So he's got ice on the head. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But he definitely got the knee of Masulis. Suleiman back to Holston. Traveling called on Leloup. I have to say, you know, from the Dijon standpoint, you know, they have to like their chances of doing something this year, of at least getting into the top 4 and moving on to the playoffs. If you start 2-0, including a road win, you are setting yourself up nicely. And now the jam by Masulis gets it back to an 11-point game. And the turnover and the basket makes it a 9-point game. Sorry, folks, we had the camera away. It was a steal by Delina Nikaitis from Julian. And Dorsey made the layup. That sequence right there has literally breathed some life into Neptunus and so into their chances. A lot can happen in 53 seconds. 46 points in the paint for Dijon.
Jeremy, fake the screen. Pass to Jeremy. You have a bonus. It's a fault. Dave, hand off. And you have a time. You play 1. Okay? Shield, corner. Accent, corner. Chasse. Here. And Jeremy, like that. Okay, Dave, play that. Roll. Finish here. Aggressive. After in defense. You switch. Chasse. No switch. Okay? No switch shots. 1 step. Pass the next. 10 minutes. Jeremy, try to switch.
Well, Axel Julien, look at this. Really looked like the steal was more from Dorsey. Delina Nikaitis was there. Yeah, that was a Dorsey steal and layup. Julien has been good tonight. He's got 10 assists to go with his 10 points. And 4 steals, but he does have 6 turnovers. Foul on Galius. So Leloup goes to the free throw line. Slavinskas and Sedekariskas in to play defense go out. Leloup makes the first. Dorsey and Delina Nikaitis come back into the game. And Leloup makes both. So you're hoping for at least 1 miss, but he makes both and takes the lead back to 11 points. 3-point attempt. Nope. Yep. It's going to be Masulis for 3. Short. And a foul called on Masulis as Holston gets to midcourt. So 39.5 seconds remaining, and Dijon now kind of easing to victory. 3 fouls on Masulis. Masulis does have 19 points tonight. I believe it was Michael Young who went out with the knock on the head, so that's good news if he's coming back into the game. Yeah, it was. He's telling him, Suleiman, I got hit in the head. That's why I was out of the game. Well, timeout. Called by Neptunus. who look like they're heading to their first defeat of the Basketball Champions League season. So many different ways this Dijon team has beaten Neptunus. One of them is from the bench with those 42 bench points. More than half of their points have come from the bench tonight. Dijon have 13 points off of the Neptunus turnovers. They've got 10 fast break points. They've got 46 points in the paint. Well, some disappointed looks on the faces of the Neptunus faithful tonight as their team is looks to be headed for defeat. Masoulas caught the ball but did not keep it raised, and Holston took it right away from him. And that leads to a break by Suleiman. The night of frustration here for Neptunus, but the good news for them, it's only one game. Final seconds ticking off the clock here, 30 remaining, and a foul called on Young. Probably not what you want if you are Dijon, to stop the clock and put Neptunus on the free throw line. Pedikariskis comes back into the game. Also Slavinskas. Galis misses the first. So, you know, all in all, tough night at the office for Neptunus tonight. Galis makes the second. Holston has it and puts up the layup. And the lead grows now, 89-73. Jorgela drives in and gets to the fall. Suleiman gets blocked from behind. Slavinskas, and he's fouled. Suleiman appealing for a foul at the other end. He doesn't get it. So Slavinskas, you know, and also in terms of points difference, you never know. Even if Neptunus make these two free throws and end up losing by 12, that's a healthy advantage for Dijon. And in fact, Slavinskas misses it. So their struggles continue at the free throw line. They're now 12 of 19, 63%. And 12 of 20. So 60%. Holston goes behind his back. He'll try to get another two. Hands it off. And the ball goes off of Young. Holston says, maybe I should have shot that one. Nevertheless, Dijon will settle for an 89-75 win on the road in Lithuania over Neptūnas Klaipėda. Well, very impressive show for long stretches here from Dijon, winning tonight by 14 points to go to 2-0. And really a nightmare second quarter for Klaipėda when they were outscored 22-10, and that was really the, that gave themselves a mountain to climb. But a lot of impressive performances for Dijon tonight. Not surprising, David Holston with 19 points, Jeremy Leloup 14, Rashid Suleiman 13, Alexandre Chasson with 12 points. I like his game. Also, Axel Julien with 10 points and 10 assists and 4 steals. So a lot to like about Dijon's start to the Basketball Champions League season. And it's good to see the Neptūnas faithful come down and be there with their team, win or lose. See the shooting numbers, the rebounds, assists, not too great of a disparity there. The Dijon with 3 more assists and 3 more steals. And 1 more rebound. And you see Masulis had 19 and Holston 19 to lead the score, and Galis had 18 points and Dylan Nikaitis 9. So here's a look at the highlights for both of these teams here in the second half. Neptūnas battled, they dug themselves a big hole and tried to climb out of it. They trimmed what was a 21-point deficit, got it down to, I believe it was 9 or 8 points, but didn't get any closer. These alley-oops to Loom. We saw so many different aspects to Dijon's play, but teams will know that when Abdoulaye Loom comes into the game, he'll be looking for those lobs that he'll flush, which he does with 2 hands. So Masulis got hot for a while there in their comeback. He was up and down in this game. He was more down than up early. And, you got to be ready to play from the opening whistle, or these good teams will make life very difficult for you. You can see the difference with Holston. I mean, he had some really good moments last year, and it looks like he's taking his game up a notch. Leloup has been in the Basketball Champions League wars before with Strasbourg and Dijon. So, you know, experience in these competitions does count for something. Neptunus, in fact, actually have several players with experience, but it didn't really shine through tonight. But again, like I said, it's one game, and Coach Rankavicius has now something, a tape full of 40 minutes of basketball to go through and to share with his players as they look to improve. So, one final time, 89-75, GDA Dijon win it at Neptunus Klaipėda. Finished